What if season 3, episode 4? What if Howard the Duck got hitched? It's a whole scramble of people looking for an exciting chase to poach a child from Howard and Darcy. So let's see how this turns out. Let's talk about it. All right, so this one starts off with Howard and Darcy, and we see them coddling their baby egg as it comes out somewhere. But it's here, and we're happy to have it. We're just trying to figure out what is going on. Like, what is so special about this particular child that has people's attention? We get a little bit of backstory. We see how Howard and Darcy met at Thor's intergalactic party. That was back in like episode 7 of What If season 1. And they met sometime during this party, and they really hit it off, and it just kind of propelled them into their relationship. Now, the thing about their relationship is they're newborn parents. They're a reformed gambler, and Darcy, again, she dealt with everything with Jane Foster and space and a few other things within, that whole Avengers, debacle during that area. And we actually find out that with them having the baby, they just kind of been coddling the baby and take care of everything there. They actually get tickets to the Grand Master's cruise. Now, bear with me. We're going to have a lot of people showing up in here. I'm probably not going to get all of them. But the Grand Master put together this big, elaborate cruise. And we know how he is for his party cruises and stuff, because that stuff was mentioned back when Thor had to deal with it. He had this really big cruise, and he's got everybody. And turns out that Darcy and Howard are actually the guest of honor at this cruise. It was like, why are they the guest of honor? But he was looking real hungry, looking at that egg. Like, I'm like, is this dude about to lick the egg or whatever? Like, he's got maids and servants and all these people that'll take care of this egg. And eventually, as he gets them to drop off with his servants, he goes and takes them and sits them down, and he's talking, and come to find out, he's got menu laid out. Like, hey, we're going to eat their egg. That's a whole bunch of people, but there's one egg. Why is it so important? Like, what is going on? We see Meek, he's got the knives. He's getting ready to cook up that egg, and before he can get to it, we actually heard Yondu just a little bit earlier say that he is going to come in and intercept this egg. Like, what does John do with egg? He's a Ravager. He steals from everybody and anything, and he just goes and gets his payout, which is exactly what he planned to do. So he shows up, takes the egg, runs off. We find out that he's got to deal with the collector to come bring that egg, because that's where most buyers go, through the collector. And as he runs away, of course, Howard and Darcy got to give chase. They steal one of the Grandmaster ships to go give chase, and eventually they get word that it's going to be the collector that's meeting up with. So Howard's like, okay, I've been there, know that place. We got to get back there. Guess what? It's in nowhere. So that's where we're going to go. So again, the story is just kind of, we're trekking along, and we're just kind of having characters show up, because now we have Caecilius. If you remember from Doctor Strange, Caecilius shows up. He done took out the collector, and he's taking his spot. So he's like, I'm going to take you out. And he takes out Yondu so that he can take the egg and go on about his business. Turns out he's setting up to do some kind of ritual with the egg. Eventually, Howard and Darcy, show up. They find him, and they're, trying to set up to, get their egg back, because they've now involved S.H.I.E.L.D. and Nick Fury, who said it's going to be their top priority to get this egg back. Why is S.H.I.E.L.D. making this egg their top priority? Like, what is going on with the egg? He finally explains it's the cosmic convergence. So on the due date of Darcy, cosmic convergence, I guess, took place in the way the planets were aligned, which means that something very special is being, conceived, born, whatever. Being born or supposed to show up by the alignment of the planets and stuff like that. And basically, since the baby was born on that date, the baby is very special, and it's got some kind of cosmic, link that requires it to, draw all this attention. Well, we still don't know exactly why, but they're like, we got it, Fury out, which this Fury is not my cup of tea. Um, but eventually, everybody kind of gives chase to go find the baby. And during this whole ritual, because Caecilius has the egg, you hear them chanting Dormammu. We're gonna find out this is supposed to be a vessel for Dormammu to take over and bring himself back. It ends up not happening because Shield finds out, interrupts, and now it's a mad scramble for these two trying to get the egg because they don't even want to give it to Darcy and Howard. They're like, no, we're gonna take it because how much power it has. So Darcy and Howard go on a run. They end up beating it with their old buddy Loki, who guess what was there at the party. They're meeting with Loki, who's more or less in Jotunheim or trying to set up something for Jotunheim to some kind of ski resort, something. I don't know. But he set up a ski resort and he's like, yeah, y'all can stay here. We're practically family. It's all good. In the process of saying that, guess what? Everybody starts showing up. Everybody starts showing up. So Laufey ends up showing up because he's upset that freaking his son is doing all this stuff. And it's like, that's a cosmic entity. This can bring us back to glory. Shield is there. It's like, you ran away from us. We're trying to get everything done to protect the baby. You guys don't need to hang on to it because of your past and who you guys are. During the series, they start freaking going at it, and we actually end up seeing Malekith show up from Thor: Dark World. So he shows up. He's trying to lay claim. You see Caecilius shows up and is trying to freaking get more in. We see the Black Order show up. And who do they call? Yo, Thanos. I think he found something. He shows up. Where are the stones? You got something in the stones? I need to know what the stones are. Like, he's a freaking fiend. Like, I need them stones. Like, no, it's not the stones. It's about the egg. He's like, you called me for an egg? Why? Doesn't matter. Now everybody's in on it, freaking Thanos included. So Howard Darcy are doing what they can to save the egg, and eventually it's just again, this is where I get this mad scramble from. Everybody's everywhere fighting everybody, everything, and they are trying to protect this egg and trying to get a hold of the egg, and eventually Howard and Darcy get a hold of it and manage to get away from everybody further away, like skiing down a hill, and they're just like, we can't do it anymore. We can't get away. Like, what is it? Why do they want? And they end up just sitting there and singing a song to the egg that they were singing earlier, a song by Kiss. So they were sitting there and singing this song and just trying to have a moment because they knew that they were about to lose their baby. And of course, magic happens. When the magic happens, egg flies up in the air and it starts shooting out lightning bolts of energy or whatever and starts, taking people out, like keeping them at bay. So with that. Throughout the process, people are still rushing for the egg and trying to get to it. And this egg continues to take people out. Like, it is not playing. It is taking people out in waves. Eventually, it starts to hatch. And this is the big thing. We see it glowing. It's all golden. What's going to happen? The thing pretty much shatters and takes out every single body that was rushing for that egg at that very moment. Takes out everybody and leaves Darcy and Howard still standing at the end of it. What floats down is a little baby with some feather-like stuff. Little feather on the right here on the elbows and stuff, and then some feathers on the top of the head. Kind of like a mohawk kind of thing going on. And yeah, we got it. Here's the baby. And this thing has been protecting them and fighting for them with massive amounts of energy. Like, it took out everybody. Some of these top MCU villains that have shown up to, be the main antagonists of movies has taken them all out. And we see Fury show up and says, you know what? I was wrong. Y'all did a great job. You got it. I'm out. Okay. We told you we had it from the beginning, but everybody was chasing for this baby, and all of a sudden you saw what it just did to everybody. And you just like, yeah, I don't want that smoke. I'm gonna go about my business because you bit off more than you can chew. So that's pretty much, it. They ended up taking the baby home. They named the baby, it looks like Birdie from the captions. They said it's my sweet little birdie, but it was actually capitalized and spelled differently than the actual word, like BYRDIE or something like that. So, and yeah, it's got a powerful cry, and that is their baby. So I'm kind of thinking that the way this is going to lead up, because the way What If always kind of leads up to is all these characters throughout the show are eventually put into a final set of episodes where they got to fight some battle and make some stuff happen. So we could see a grown up birdie or something like that who's ready to fight and, make stuff happen. I don't know. This episode was not one for me. I was not a fan. I was okay. Was a lot of action, a lot of stuff going on. Yeah, it was definitely. Um, but again, I probably just need to wait till I see the final product to see where they would go with it. I have been trying to really get into this. Episode 3 was the only one that really was fun for me. All the rest of them, I'm just here on. So I don't know. I want to hear your thoughts. I want to hear what you think. Tell me, were you down for it? Were you excited about this episode? Did you have fun with it? Or, you think like I do and it's just like, yeah, they could have done something a little bit more with this. I want them to, I don't want them to what if the what ifs. Like, what if Howard got hitched and we're what ifing off the what if? It just doesn't seem as fun. Like, we want to know, kind of like, we know how this route goes for certain decisions. Again, what if something changed in that moment that we've already seen in the MCU and went a different direction? How would the MCU turn out? How would certain characters react? What would happen? I'm sorry, it's got way more interest for me than, what ifing the what if. That's just my opinion, thoughts. I appreciate you guys sticking with us. Make sure you hit that little subscribe button. Again, I want to hear your thoughts. I want to hear what you think about this. Let me know. And I'll be back for episode 5 tomorrow. Hope you all have a Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays and whatever it is you celebrate. I hope you enjoy it to the best of your ability. Catch you guys in the next one.